All right, let's get to it. Kiljadi up against what I believe to be Baltoon here, actually. Avli fan number 2 is Baltoon. That's the rank 14th account. This one, I think, is ranked about 40th. We were just discussing it's either Baltoon, it could be Kazuyohan or Numidan. I think this was Baltoon. Numidan has been a little bit inactive the last few days, actually. I don't think he's been playing as much. His Balu account has just kind of gone dark, if I remember correctly. Like, actually... Could this be Balu? Alright, either way, it's a very talented player. They're 47th in the world with 1902 elo. On the other side, the Dark, aka Kiljadi, needs no intro. His main is top 10 in the world right now. Seems like he's having a day practicing Japan. I actually really like Japan in this matchup. I favor them. I think the statistics support this. It was slightly. It was 53% win rate for Japanese up against English. But it makes a lot of sense when you think about it. Even this Council Hall build or the Abbey of Kings build, either way you go, Fast Castle tends to hit pretty hard. Kind of an ambitious choice coming in here from Orange, though, to go for the Council Hall build on a map that feels very easy to defend for the Japanese, right? Like, if he just short walls this piece and then Outpost drops here, Lombos can't do anything to the gold, and you just Fast Castle. And Fast Castle is bloody strong on Japanese against both forms, because if it's the all-in English and Feudal, you just spam out Mounted Samurai. If it's the Fast Castle English one where they go Knights, would you like to guess what unit you spam still, guys? Mounted Samurais. You can do Onimusha as well, but Mounted Samurais work just as good and don't really have as easy of a counter. Most had their loyalty split between SE2 and AoE2. Sort of. The problem is, like, in a way, you have to build your own identity. But I think Age of Empires 4, I keep saying this, and I stand by it truly, like, hand and heart. The game, if the marketing efforts behind it, from a Microsoft standpoint, were actually, like, done well. If the marketing plan wasn't being drawn up by 4-year-old crayons, AoE 4 would be twice the size it is right now. Give it time. I also think there needs to be some work done on the development side to allow for certain things. Like, capture age is still not up to scratch on where it needs to be. And do not get me started on how custom games is honestly, like, it should be like making mac and cheese. That's the ideal way to make a custom games tool. But instead, it's like trying to mirror what Gordon Ramsay's makes in one of his Michelin star restaurants. I know because I've tried to make micro maps in the map editor. And as a person who is almost 31 years of age and has played RTSs since I was like 6 years old, I can hand on heart say I have not played a game that is harder to make maps in. Which is wild. So let's talk about what Orange is up to here. We don't really see Council Hall builds that much anymore, but this is something that I really like on Cliffside against Japanese. Any map where you're smaller and closer to your opponent, you hit fast enough. But on this map, you're about to see the fallacy, the flaw in this plan. Outpost being rushed up. A little bit late by Kiljadi, but considering the amount of villagers doing this, he shouldn't really lose any for it. It's going to be a little bit of a nuisance, though. Kiljadi. Oh! A little bit of a missed micro there. Does not get away. Big mistake made there. And he's got an extra villager left over here. Does garrison the correct one, though. So Outpost defense up. I do not like the way that Kiljadi approached this. He either should have short-walled the gap, or he should have put the Outpost up earlier. So that was a very big mistake made. It looks like he was anticipating an Abbey of Kings build. That's the only reason I could think that you wouldn't get this up sooner, because against Abbey of Kings, remember, the king takes 35 seconds to come out after you tech up, and thus you have ample time to react. He is doing the correct thing now. Unfortunately, he has now placed the Outpost in a pretty terrible position, because now Avali Fan has a second opportunity to strike. If he goes around the back here and stands archers here, you'll still be idle on gold, right? So you still need to add in another Outpost, and you need to do it quickly. And this gives an opportunity, because while you're adding another Outpost, yep. Oh, this is reeking of Baltoon, honestly. He's going to be going for siege engineering. You prioritize siege engineering here, because one ram breaks this. This is the way that England can win in this game, when the Japanese kind of misplay it a bit. Typically, okay, whoa, hold up. All right, pause it. I was about to say, typically the way that you solve English Council Hall is this. I love it. I usually like to see horsemen as well, but in fairness, doing the archers first, now you're this deep, makes sense because your opponent is going to already have spearmen. So you don't want to open up with stables on a delay. You open stables if you do it straight away at the start of Feudal Age, because you know an English player is going to open longbows first. But when you're a minute or two in, it makes no sense to go horsemen. And we are getting mass Yumi. Triple archery range. Good lord. I mean, he kind of needs it to catch up, right? Like, you do produce Yumi quicker than longbows come out. But remember, you're up against double archery range production already, right? So 13 versus 15 seconds, and your opponent has double archery range already, because of Council Hall, you need to make up the gap. Yeah, I actually do think that this is probably one of the best matchups for Yumi spam, by the way. The logic is, although longbows have more range, they move much, much slower. It means the Yumi can gap close. But it's not just that. The other thing that makes Yumi bonkers is the fact that because they are so squishy, longbows in mass overkill. Like, they waste extra arrows into targets. Yumi will never do that, right? Because the damage is so low. It's much harder to be in that situation. Looks like he's marching out already. Longbows, they actually went around the back. What? Orange! I mean, he might be losing the trickle of reinforcements, but he's blocking out all production. The Yumi can't even spawn. Like, he needs to cancel them all right now. This doesn't work. Okay, so, really rough situation. Blue is at least cutting reinforcements, but now Orange with the reset can just wait for 4 lombos and come back out. That is sick. I didn't expect him to go all the way around that deep. But Killjardy, remember, these archery ranges got scouted early on by Orange. This was a sick move out of them. I can't even believe he's trying. Like, what? If you do it this way, you literally have to spawn them and attack. You can't run away. Yeah, he cancels them all. What is he waiting for? Is he hoping that he's going to back off? He's built additional archery ranges. This is now turning into a 5 archery range game. He's going to attack this. The timing as well. 3 more archers come out. Killjardy knew he had to defend it. It's the best thing he's got right now. And actually pretty smart here. Look, Undermesh already in. No Steeled Arrow. But on the other side, Orange does not have any blacksmith techs. This is the cleanup. Wow. Okay. Second strike is coming in, though. Lombo's moving on the villager line. 5 of them is good enough to double tap a villager down, but can't hang around long enough here. Is he actually recovering this game? That's insane. This game looked like it was practically GG, but that was sick. Killjardy perfectly times the production for when the Yumi reinforcements arrive. Now, he can reclaim the back of his base. Meanwhile, other side of this, Orange has moved down to DR. I love that detail. Pocket resources here. A little bit dangerous because of this, though. Check what's happened. Killjardy scout this out. If he can repel this assault now of Lombos and sneak out a handful of Yumi, he can shut down the food and actually kill a lot of economy. This game is actually so cool. It's crazy as well because usually this comp is Yumi and Horseman. But this is raw archers only. At least mixing up a bit now of men-at-arms actually coming through from Orange. And the Ram, a few minutes later than we were originally anticipating, has finally been queued up. Killjardy needs to get Steeled Arrow ASAP. He's actually about to be at a humongous disadvantage here. I think he knows it as well. The problem with this Ram is it's going to force Killjardy to fight sooner than he's ready. That's a big deal. Because Orange is ready to fight in 40 seconds. Past that gate being knocked on. Wow, he's going to go for the trade. That is so ballsy. AoE 4? AoE 4? Okay, hey. We're back? We're back. It's okay, guys. You know, like, Dota 2 was in beta for, like, 10 years. We're only 3 years in. Now, the question mark is whether Orange is going to read this as coming. I mean, he has no reason to, right? Here's the crazy thing. Killjardy has been waiting for this moment all his life. All 11.5 minutes of it. Okay, maybe not that much. About 3 minutes or so, I think he's been sitting here waiting for this. Orange, in the meantime, taking a slower, more methodical approach, as the English often do. Second wave of Yumi are being stocked up behind this. This strike could be huge. 12 villages. 1.12 movement speed. Wheelbarrow is going to be too late. A 1 minute difference that could define this game. Yumi march in. Villagers trying to shift away. But they're actually not running. They're just running the extra food. No textiles here. The undermesh is at least keeping some of these alive, but the Yumi can keep running and gunning here. 1.38 movement speed means it's almost impossible to get out of range. And at the tail end of it, somehow Orange only losing, what, 4 villagers for that? All because there's no steeled arrow. You've got to be kidding me. This game, I don't even know how Killjardy looks like he's still in it. If he just had steeled arrow earlier, the difference it would have made in this game. Because then, that would have been 8 villager kills easily. Now he still has to wait to even defend his base. More Raxes being sieged down in the meantime. Killjardy is at least bringing all the troops home. However, there is a handful of men-at-arms in here that are going to muddy the water. He needs to make sure he's focus firing the Lombos. Any time wasted on men-at-arms is a step closer to defeat. 2 more Archer Rangers being burnt to a crisp. Scout gets taken out. Orange is riding blind. Oh my god, no, that's terrible. Too late. He won't be able to get away from this. Yumi are going to go for the assault. Has to move past them. Ignore the men-at-arms. Worst possible thing you do right now is attack them. Lombos are the only thing that matters to you right now. Weirdly enough, though, he attacks the MAA. Finally gets on top of the LBs. And there is no backing away from this. Full surround coming in. And it looks like, once again, Killjardy will be able to reclaim his base. Comes at a high price, though. So many Yumi have died for this. Second wave of Lombo and men-at-arms are on the way. And this one is probably going to be more heavily men-at-arms focused. Means that if you're the Duck, you need to get something else. Because Yumi aren't going to be able to beat mass men-at-arms. They will lose. Like, actually, Yumi are probably the one archer in the game that make feudal men-at-arms look good. Ram, in the meantime, has obliterated the back of the base. 3 archer rangers, 2 houses, not bad. Even going for the farms now as well. Who do I favor now? I think Orange has kind of got this, right? Like, he's prepping farms behind this. This is, if we're being totally real, a weak point in this game, where he's been forced to condense his base because of the Yumi raid. That Yumi raid, I can't believe it, man. If he just had Steeled Arrow, the damage it could have reaped there. Another round coming in now from Orange. Another situation where you need to rebump production as well if you're the Japanese. And look at this sneaky snake. He's going into the Raxes. If this is Samurai, I don't like it. Samurai against Lombos feels terrible when your opponent's got men-at-arms. If this is Owner Big Isha, it's going to be a bit dicey, but at least I can see the logic in that, like a mobile comp. The Yumi are once again going around the back. Archer Range is once again being attacked. Remember that Killjardy, by the way, is playing in a tournament in half an hour against Anatan. Anyone else think he's intentionally cooking here? I think these 2 players are going to be the funnest ones to watch from Japan. Like Anatan and Killjardy, at least, rather, are going to be the funnest ones to watch from Japan in this tournament. Walls not going up. And this time, he recalibrated. 14 Yumi, more than enough. Especially with the +1. Farms on the backside are stretched out a bit as well, so you could raid there. Smarter time being achieved. Rams, in the meantime, are going to be pushed back. Villager did get denied on that outpost in the end, and berries are being gathered. Yeah, this is unfortunate. Orange, I think the walls were slightly too late here. He's trying to get more up now. Unfortunately, Yumi just so quick to get in position here. Eco lead now sitting with the Duck. Are you kidding me? No, 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 no. Big mistake made there. Pulls the villagers just in time. But somehow, someway, Killjardy gets another eco kill. I think Orange was considering gradual tech up here. But now he's had to reboom, right? More men-at-arms coming. Samurai count. Not that scary, and this is what I was worried about. Building Longbow, Samurai, like that matchup favors Longbos, right? The Samurais just get sniped out too easily here against a premium range unit that's been masked. Onibigisha would die, but like think about it this way. Onibigisha would die in an overkill fashion against this many Lombos. And you'd have a better chance of gap closing. Looks like the walls should be getting up now with the Lombos and men-at-arms on the flank. Kiljadi. Is he going to look for a way out of Feudal Age is what I'm wondering. I'm not so sure. Melee Tech 2's coming in. Outposts still on the gold, right? So no easy sneaking. Wall's still up. He could just snake into castle. He's got a decent amount of food left over. He's playing pocket resources far away from the English. And remember, the English suck at flank play. Men-at-arms Lombos, like, I can't think of a more immobile comp. Maybe if you were only ramming. Yeah, this is the definition of, like, the old men. It's the irony is that Japan has one of the highest average ages in the world, yet England in this matchup are the ones that move like old men, right? I always used to say like Lombos just look like old men with walking sticks, right? Out for a trek. It definitely feels like it when you check their movement speed. That is a lot of samurai. What's interesting is the dynamics of this matchup, if they both castle at the same time, or mass men-at-arms. Japan's actually favored there due to Odachi tech and the melee. You just offset armor-clad. Now, the difference is if you fight in the English base. But this is a matchup which should be defined by the mid-map if it turns into a castle. All about them relics. But who said anything about castle in this game? Orange now looking to go in. And look at this wrap. Kiljadi. It's almost like he's inviting him into a trap. Can he really commit here, though? Combo counts thick. Outpost now on the way. Orange, only one villager to do this, though. Hit on the villagers. 2 going down. Outpost a garrison. And here we go. Round the back he goes. Kiljadi. He laid the trap. And now it's time to snap. Samurai with the charge in. Lombos have to get out of range of the Yumi. It's time for a taste of his own medicine. Choke point being used for the time being, but Orange, I think he's been flooded here. There's just not enough MAA to hold. What a turn of events here. Yumi time and time again, but this time the Samurai to make a dominant win in this fight. And there's no getting away from this. The Yumi will gun you down. The only upside is you are at least running towards a pocket eco, so maybe you can idle them out there, but a big loss for Orange, and for the first time in this game, Kiljadi now looking like he's in control. Oh, that was one of the sickest flanks I've seen all week. The patience shown by Kiljadi as well, right? He's just dangling the cat toy in front of him. And Orange is like, ooh, me see shiny, me need shiny. Lombos are at least going to trade out, so we said this is probably the best value he's going to find. A little bit of a missed micro there. Kiljadi should have been pulling those villagers away. But a lot of Lombos dead now. In outnumbering, which we just didn't expect in this game. 28 military to 52, now in favor of the Duck. Navli fan needs to duck out this age. It's going to be a tech up. It actually will have to be a white tower. If he does Abbey of Kings, he's dead. Or King Palace, rather. Oh my god, he's... What? That is a lot of units coming towards your base. And look at the tech timing. That's the funny thing, right? When you lose a fight like that, you might be like, oh man, Blue put a lot more into that. No, they were even Stevens, and this shows it. Wow. King's Palace versus Floating Gate. I think the English have made a mistake here. Orange needed a white tower to defend himself. Like, Duck could just go in, right? I don't like the backing off. I mean, they do have their tech coming, right? But when you see the trigger, you should be checking what they've teched up with. Because I feel like Orange got away with murder here. I wonder if Kiljadi suspected White Tower, and that's why he didn't dive. Upgrades coming through now. A stay of execution for Avli fan number 1. But a rough game to now claw back into. This is the point in the game where Japan can feel quite strong, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's a Yorishiro drop Into stables. Where did he put it? He puts it in a fort. You greedy mother ducker. I mean, why not, right? Like, there's no rush. This isn't your standard game where the Yorishiro drop in Iraqs or something makes the world of difference because you immediately get 1 million units, right? You already have 1 million units. So you might as well slow upgrade them, play for economy instead, get the majority of that, and then come at your opponent in a few minutes. Yumi Odachi coming in as well. Crossbows have already been queued up, but this is why I like he's sticking Yumi. His opponent has seen him spam a lot of samurai, so he should be reacting to those samurai with crossbows, most likely. Yumi's the perfect way of contesting that. I'm wondering, do we see a quick second TC as well? With this level of greed, it wouldn't surprise me. He's already got the Daimyo level 1. Katana Bannerman is on the way in. Armor Clad being queued up on the other side, but guys, I was not kidding when I said that Samurai destroy men-at-arms. Look at the damage here. You've got the Naginata right now, but Dachi Tech completes. Boom, another 4 like that. Men-at-arms on the other side of this are going to have 1 less melee attack overall, but 2 more melee armor. It doesn't offset the Odachi. Yeah, you have to think of it like a 5 versus a 2, right? So 3 extra damage going through, and then it gets even more absurd when you remember deflective armor as a thing. So your opponent is actually removing your first attack, but still doing theirs. That's a pretty insane difference, actually, right? Like, you've got 18 there. You've got the armor clad, which would usually put you up to, what, in this case, it would be 7 armor. So it actually turns into a 31 damage difference, right? Because your attack isn't going through, but theirs is. Orange grabbing some relics, though. A little bit surprised this was given over. I still don't like the fact that Killjoy backed up like he did. I think he missed a golden opportunity to even end the game. Yeah, kind of wild, right? Like, we have God Vision. You have to remember both these players did lose their scouts. But you'd think after taking a dominant fight like that, I think what was maybe going through Killjoy's mind is he thought his opponent wasn't teching up. He might have thought that he was reinvesting. So if he dives the enemy base when they're reinvesting while you're spending 1,800 resources on an age up, you're going to die, right? But at least he's now making his move. Has got the mangoes as well. Reveals it on the outpost blueprint. I don't like that. That was a golden opportunity missed. Remember, this is a game where neither player has additional vision range. The Lombos aren't too bad, but remember, the mangoes have surplus range. Ball's going to break. Orange being pulled off the Fort Gold. Still got 600 in reserve behind this. Mass men at arms stockpiling up. I'm not sure I like this, though. I mean, yes, you're up against Yumi, but the Samurai is the bigger problem here. And you do not have many crossbows for that. March into the main. Well, well, well. The irony in this moment of the game. After a good 15 minutes of this happening to your own production, Killjoy now gets the chance to return the favor. Mango. Gonna whiff. Samurai lines are thick enough, though. Orange can't take this fight. He needs to wait for the spring ults. I don't like the Siege Workshop location, though. A big wallop to the center. Whoa. Calm down, son. You're getting ahead of yourself. Mango is a little bit overly deep. Actually goes for the wall. That was a mistake. I don't think he respected the network of castles there. Spawner is going to get sniped out, though. Second man goes on the way. A temporary reset. Once again, a slight stay of execution for a good reason. And Orange sees exactly why. Second Mango now arriving behind this third relic, now on the way home for blue. Torches out. Aims on the Siege Workshop. Mango shooting in the choke point. Skrill comes out. Mango needs to back up, move away. Instead, it's going to go deeper for a wallop onto the crossbows. Siege Workshop down. Yumi need to actually go for the crossbows right now. This is a big mistake being made. Killjoy standing his ground and just allowing the crossbows to win this. It's going to be a breakaway. Oh my god. Somehow, Orange holds. Killjoy, this was a drop of the ball for sure. That dive in on the Siege Workshop is one thing, but bringing the Mangonel in range is so unnecessary in this game. He just threw away the lead. And now he's in a game against 2TC. He needs to add in one of his own. That's at least coming through. All of a sudden, an opportunity to strike, but he needs to be quick about this. Orange moving out. The Mangoes are going to be there to meet him, though, and an immediate turnaround. We're once again shifting gears here. Don't like this, by the way. Triple Katana Bannerman. Buff the Yumi. Like, it's actually insane at this stage. Just get that extra damage in. Your opponent does have 8 armor, but if you're going to use these Yumis intended and attack the back line, the lombos, the crossbows, it's going to make the world of difference. Orange starting to back her up. Is he thinking of sneaking him? It'd be very dangerous. Double Springle now in play for the Duck. Second Springle now on the way for Orange. And a switch in strategy here. Instead of going right, Duck starts to aim left. He still needs to calibrate his Bannerman properly. He doesn't even have the Katana Bannerman here right now. So if a fight breaks out, he'll actually lose to Orange. Orange has 45 men at arms. Houses being targeted. Orange now making a move. 2 Springles versus 2. But that attack speed difference matters. And also, I don't like what's happening here. Big mistake made. Kiljadi attacked the men at arms. It means he's going to lose both the anti-siege. Mango's shot comes in. Not quite confirming the kill. Kiljadi now having to back up. Bannermen are at least now here. Sacred sites have been locked in. But if you back off, I fear that Orange is just going to go Imperial Age ahead of you. Oh, and if he gets that in, this is actually going to be over. Kiljadi's army is really not as strong as it appears. You have to remember, half of that is Yumi. That is a cheap unit. It's not a strong unit. Your opponent, meanwhile, has mass men at arms, crossbows to assist. Right? Like, if you were talking men at arms versus samurai, I would favor just samurai. But add the crossbows in with a network of castles and you have a completely different affair. Military Academy now on the way. Shogunate Castle coming through. And interestingly enough, a switch now into Onimusha. I wondered if it would come to this. I wasn't really sold on the idea. The problem with Onimusha is you're still up against a bunch of Lombos and their attack speed isn't great. You know, this is a unit that's quite expensive and it feels like it's more suited in small combat scenarios and raiding situations. What you have here is a condensed fight. Like, I'd argue actually just building more Mangoes would be better, but I get where Kiljadi's coming from, right? Like, he just doesn't have the siege advantage anymore, especially when he's diving into that attack speed aura. Sacred Site decap on the right. So that win condition is going to be removed. And Orange, well, Imp is starting to feel more and more inevitable with this type of load in reserve. 2,000 food sitting in the bank. Kiljadi putting everything into this attack. Trade out begins. Mangoes get the wall up onto the men at arms. Springle count, getting low. No attack speed aura here. Orange makes a mistake and has to pay the Popa. Kiljadi denies the outpost going up, and Orange learns the exact one reason he's still in this game. Attack speed. It's the only reason he's holding on. He needs to respect that detail and not extend beyond his means. Mango's now marching in. Springles there to trade them out. One shot to the back. Actually, I don't even know where that shot went. It didn't make sense, but the men-at-arms are about to break through. Or rather, the samurai are. Yumi just need to get past this. Honestly, every time he waits and attacks men-at-arms, it gets worse for him. If he just goes straight for the crossbows, this is over. Moving in now. Yumi are getting deep enough. They're even starting to snipe out some villages. That eco lead is shrinking. The military lead could quickly build here as well. Yumi on top of the crossbows means the samurai are being ignored. And Kiljadi about to take the villager lead in this game. Yumi even deeper on the farms. This might be over. It's looking strong. Military count is still neck and neck, but I'm just noticing death after death in the English economy here. I don't actually think he can hold anymore. Like, the crazy thing is, sure, Kiljadi's going to lose a lot for this dive, but it's worth it for what he's getting in return. Even targeting down the Springles now with the villages. Or with the Yumi, rather. God, I call them villagers so they feel that pitiful. Now, Killjoy did throw a lot into this, but a lot of damage was done. That entire eco lead that existed for Orange is now gone. On top of that, remember, on the other side, you're talking about Shogunate Castle. You're talking about the Yorishiro Gold drip and Relic and Sacred Site advantage. So although that looked like a lot of bodies hitting the floor for Killjoy, economically, he feels a lot better about this. The problem for Orange is he needs Imperial. If he gets Imperial and gets enclosures, he doesn't care about these type of trades. But if he's kept away from that, he's kept away from his win condition. Castle drop coming in now. I wonder, does he just greed up now? Does he try to find his way into Imperial? Because I think that really is the win condition here. The thing that he needs. And then there's Killjoy, who needs a win really, really quickly, guys, because the tournament starts in 17 minutes. So chugga-chugga-choo-chooing slow, not really an option in this one for him. And it looks like Orange is going to make it a bit more speedy for them. It's definitely going to be Imperial Age. And yeah, network of Citadels, right? Like, this is the thing that has been missing this whole time. This, by the way, is why, this is the real reason why the 2TC English fast castle build looks so broken. It's that's the keep. It's the double production keep into eventual easy network of Citadels. Set him for a set again. The problem with this Civ is the attack speed, Aura. It's why everyone's so happy when English aren't meta. Right? Think about before this English buff came in. I feel like everyone was having a good time. The meta felt good. Ayyubid was kind of annoying, sure, but like loads of viable Civs, loads of fun times. The moment that this change happens with the king, the moment that you find a way into the White Tower build, you find your way towards that late game, all of a sudden you've got one of the most impressive Civs. Up there with the Chinese in terms of, I'd say, most hated Civs to face off against. Is this going to be a Berkshire? I hope not. It's looking like a Berkshire, guys. He's moving the villagers now. It's going to drop on the gold. Yep. Okay, not even on the gold. He's scared. You do not go Berkshire unless you're forced to. Killjoy now moving in with a siege. Killjoy, who has put it all back into military here. Spring trade out begins. The Berkshire on the front, though, may be a mistake. Orange! No! Not like this! Killjoy needed to go for that tournament game, and you know what? He's going to go with a win. Spring trade out continues. Mangonel count is big, though. Killjoy, if he just goes for the villagers now... Oh! Straight to the groin. I mean, you just double down now, right? Like, Killjoy actually is looking like he's getting ready for a tech up himself. And in the meantime, it's a breakthrough on the flank. Samurai find their way in to the backline economy. And it's a panic Berkshire. 55 villages in the middle of farmlands. But a heavy loss elsewhere. Wow. This actually might just still be over. Killjoy's getting deeper now. Sprills aren't even reacting anymore. Berkshire's at least going to go up. But you're barking mad if you think this is a good one. Wow. And the wallop! The mangoes! Where's the standing army right now? Orange has nothing to fight with other than a Berkshire. The mangoes are still hunting. This one looks practically over. Mango can't quite get another shot out. Is going to be taken out, but look at Killjoy's economy. He's ready to go. Tanagashima Gunsmith now on the way. 3 Sacred Sites also locked in. Gold access not looking great in this game now for Orange. And his economy looking roughed up. Wow. Dude, this game is sick. Remember how this game began, by the way. Council Hall rush into Yumi, into mistimed outposts, ram shenanigans. Like, so much about this early game that could have ended it in less than 15 minutes. And yet, here we are now, 36 minutes later. I said it about a game yesterday, and I stand by it. This is how Age of Empires 4 should be played. When you get to this as a standard form of play, where it's not just boomy fun time, it's actually bring the clapping. That's when I approve of 50-minute games. None of this, let's spend 10 minutes building TC's crap. These guys may have went to TC each, but they had to spill a lot of blood to earn it. Closure's now coming in for Orange, so at least even without good gold access, they're going to have some comeback plan there, right? They're going to have something to work with, but look at what's been queued up. Zutsu now on the way. Elite Samurai upgrades, and I wouldn't be surprised for Unitech in the form of Oda Tactics is quickly behind it. Katana Bannerman have been queued up. Needs to get a Yumi Bannerman. Remember, that does buff the Azutsu by +5 damage. Rams now shuffling in on the keep. Cannon placement is in, but you're barking mad if you think Orange wants to try and contest this, right? His army's too small. The Rams will be able to break through this. In fact, the fact that he's trying to contest it is a mistake. He hasn't even upgraded his army either. Keep down to 2k HP. Crossbows. Looking like they may be able to just about hold him on here. The problem, though, is you haven't got many melee units, right? So the castle should still be going down. Like, that's the problem. Did you notice that? Killjadi focused on all of the men-at-arms first. So that even when he loses the back line afterwards, the Rams should be able to clear up. And they do so just barely. New keep has to come up. Expensive loss there for Orange. Let's do a Euroshira check. We should have most in Forges now. Forge, Siege Workshop, Forge. Probably more in Forges, right? Actually, oh, did he not get the tech? He's only got 4, right? So a little bit of a whoopsie. No. Yeah, big mistake by Killjadi. He's flowing 2.5k gold and he hasn't got Bunrei. Bunrei is amazing. It just scales you so well into the late game. The Zutsu count is looking fantastic as well, though. This is a pretty dicey game to have to face off against a Zutsu in because of the choke point in the center, right? Like, you almost feel like you're playing on Mountain Pass with that detail. Keep drop on the right side. Looks like Orange was trying to sneak towards the goal, but good block out there. Killjadi gets ahead of him. And no, Killjadi doesn't have 0 eco upgrades. God, I feel like a broken record. And you know what? I actually hate how often I've had to highlight this because it reminds me how long they haven't done anything about it. Capture Age is completely outdated and not correct. Capture Age does not register the wheelbarrow tech. It does not register the melee tech. It does not even matter about these techs. For some reason, like, these ones don't even have an excuse, right? Like, he's gotten the tier 2 lumber upgrade, but it doesn't show. This doesn't exist for Japan. This doesn't exist. They have a unique form of wheelbarrow and he's got all 3 levels. And then melee tech doesn't make sense because this Civ has 4. It doesn't register them at all. Rocket launcher? Wait. Killjadi doesn't care. He's not even reacting to this bombard play right now. He's going down the center. Oda Tactics and the Arm Tactics both on the way. That is a hell load of Azutsu. Keep drop also coming in. What? Okay, that's actually sick. Yoinking the gold away, giving him a staging point. Second castle up. Azutsu. Samurai. Need to spread out. Azutsu need to actually just find the clump at the back to take out the crossbows. Smart plays by Killjadi. Oh my, this is going to be a rout. You can feel it, you can see it. Just so many Samurai in the mix, and Oda Tactics is going to be there before EAT, which means that they are going to get eaten instead. Stack overflow. Samurai now just breaking past the front line. Some pushback in entirety. Azutsu should just now be able to finish off the castle. Samurai tanky enough that they're wasting the crossbow's time. Buying time for the next wave. In fact, the only downside right now is Killjadi should probably have more Ford Raxes, but everything else is looking thumbs up. Second castle. Made that the third crumbles, right? This is getting absurd. The amount of keep ruins in the area for England feels like modern day English. We can just go through the countryside and find about 50 different castles. Kiljadi versus who? So this is either, we think it's Baltun or Numidan. Baltun has the Alvifan #2 account, which is 14th in the world. This one's about 40th. I think it's either Numidan or Baltun. We were talking about the possibility of Kazi Johan, but Kazi Johan's been a bit inactive. What I will say is, like, it could be Numidan because I can't find the Balu account anymore. And the Numidan account doesn't show on the leaderboard. So either A, Numidan has stopped playing AoE 4, or this is him. Chemistry coming in. Yeah, I don't like the lack of Yumi Bannerman still. Like, it's such a lot of damage being missed out on here, right? The 15% increase on 28 base is huge. Especially when you're not attacking buildings. That's where you really miss it. If you're wondering, by the way, why does Kiljadi attack the crossbows with Zutsu instead of attacking the men-at-arms? It's because you deal range damage. So you lose a lot of that damage against 9 armor. Not so much against 2 armor. Then you add in the health difference, and it's so brain dead obvious, right? Like 95 health unit instead of a 216. And that's before we calculate the effective HP. Zutsu. Nice castle, bro. Well, it was a nice castle. My brain is now in content creator mode on how I define this one on YouTube. I actually think the defining point in this game was the Yumi backstab. If it wasn't for that backstab, if it wasn't for the English diving in at that early point in the game, I don't think we'd even be this deep. I think this game would have been done in 15, 18 minutes. Instead, now, deeper, 44 minutes in, it just shows how important that recovery arc was for Kiljadi. Now firmly in the driving seat here. Zutsu stabbing around the side. We're creating a choke point here. Zutsu, if they just move on to the crossbows, this could be big. Right now, the A-click's a bit questionable coming out from Kiljadi. Can't even dive for the mango, right? We're barely doing any damage. Instead, he has to start backing up. Samurai line is spreading out. And wait, where are the outposts? Where's the aura? What? Oh, no. His men-at-arms can't win this fight. Crossbows are at least assisting, so considering defender's advantage, he'll be able to push Kiljadi back, but because there's no network of Citadels, his ass is getting clapped right now. And yeah, the aura should be happening. It's not there. That is wild. It's crazy as well because you see how he still wins that fight. Imagine how big of a difference it would be if you had the attack speed aura. When did this happen? Kiljadi, we said he needed to move a base up. Here you go. Good lord. And yes, thank you, Corvinus. You can see on the TC it's gone as well. It's even gone on the keeps. So you basically need outposts. For some reason, this bug came back. Because, you know, bugs are seasonal. They hide in the winter. Okay, that was a terrible joke. Samurai now starting to hit the economy. A lead building. Gold is going to be a problem at this pacing for Orange. He does at least have the incendiaries. He's got a lot of crossbows for the time being, but if that line gets wiped, I don't think you can afford men-at-arms and crossbows on a full reboom. So many villages going down as well. Oh my god. 79 to 135 eco. Kiljadi, all he now needs to do is activate the meat grinder. Because Orange will not be able to contest this economy. First wave gets cleared up. Needs to get more out ASAP. Bombards in the meantime are starting to blitz into the castle. Network of Citadels is activated. Kiljadi, surely there's no way he could lose this game. In some ways, this economy is a bit too big, right? 135 to 80. You know, if you can survive English's first wave, great. But if they bulk up to 110, 120 and you don't kill it, that's when having a lower eco count isn't a bad thing. Samurai diving in, mangoes. A little bit overextended there, but enough crossbows to defend. This attack speed is absurd. I'm sorry, but this has to go. I want you guys to realize the network of Citadels is busted. The only reason English aren't at 100% win rate right now is because it's bugged. This may just be the best Civ in the late game now. And this is without Wingard. I want to remind you guys of that. He went Berkshire to save his game. Imagine how much more bullish and dominant this would look with Wingard. I can't believe it. I can't believe from Killjadi's position, from how this game looked, from the way he recovered to get back into it, the way he played this mid-game. And yet it all may be for nothing. Samurai count just doesn't look good enough. And he has military academy. You could argue he needs more production, but with this attack speed aura, I'm not even sure that would be good enough. This has to be so tilting. If you were Killjadi right now, like, here's another thought for you guys. He's about to hop into a tournament, right? Imagine you get this game and then you have to go play a tournament. How tilted would you be? How hard would it be to not be thumping your keyboard into your head right now and screaming? I know I'd be. So how does Killjadi potentially still win this? You could try Ona Bagisha, but it's so difficult against armor-clad men-at-arms. You have to just get on top of the crossbows, which is somewhat feasible to a certain degree, but I think the difficulty is this map, right? This is Lipany choke point. So getting around the back is difficult. And yeah, this whole argument that he only built Samurai and Ozitsu, I'm sorry, what else are you meant to build? If you build hand cannoneers, the English build longbows, you die. If you don't build Samurai, like, you have nothing to do with men-at-arms. You actually have to build Samurai. You could maybe argue hand cannoneers because his opponent currently has crossbows, but the attack speed aura just makes crossbows that ridiculous. It's a better crossbow stirrups. And all you have to do is build an outpost. Samurai hand cannon? No, I disagree. Samurai hand cannon against English doesn't, like, no. It's the only reason you see Roos do that and it works is because they have siege advantage. You don't have siege advantage, right? You have siege disadvantage against Springles. Hand cannon would only work if Orange didn't have wood to then go longbows. That is the problem. So, like, what you're gambling on is that you just outplay siege. You just have to outplay siege, is what you're saying there. And if you don't outplay your opponent on siege, you lose the game. Because remember, that network of Citadels doesn't just work on crossbows, doesn't just work on mangoes, works on siege as well, right? So, unless you are like Roos with banded arms or Mongols with the +1 extra tar range, you can't just play Springald and Springald. Hello. Killjadi, I think he's had enough of this crap. I mean, this is the one way he can maybe win this game. He can't fight directly. We actually might need to speed this one up a little bit. I don't think we were exactly live. We might need to go a little bit quicker. Otherwise, we're going to be late to the tournament. Let's speed it up. I hope this game is over for him, or he's going to be late to his games. Gold is starting to be reaccessed as well. Like, the other problem here is you're playing a Civ that can't really function without gold. And oh, okay, no, guys, we're as live as we. Oh my god, he's gonna be late to his. Okay, now that's good because we're starting off with we're starting off with Louis MT versus Luciferon. Yeah, there's Anatan. Anatan is the guy who's meant to be playing Killjadi right now. I'm sorry, Killjadi. Can you maybe stick to your times? By the way, I'm gonna like. We've had a lot of talk about Red Bull Warlord recently and people wondering why Empire Wars. This is why. This is why they thought they needed Empire Wars. Now, this is a rarity, but think about it from a tournament organized perspective. You do not want to have the situation where a game could be infinitely long. Right? Now, I'm not saying Empire Wars is the right call, but I'm just trying to explain to people, because I know it's a big discussion point in AoE4 right now, why they were trying to find something else. Because the worry that these games can happen. Tournament organizers will always try to find formats that alleviate that concern. Killjardy, I think when it's time to throw in the towel, buddy, it's time to throw in the towel. Like, weirdly enough, Orange is down to 64 economy. I just don't see how you use this to your advantage unless you blob and go for a landmark snipe. Right? Landmark snipe might be his one way to win this. We've got a little bit more 2 times to work with. He's going mass horseman. Against crossbows, I get it, but the men-at-arms just destroy you. The only way mass horseman makes sense if you go for a burn down. But like if you're going for a landmark snipe, actually Onabagisha make more sense because they have more torch damage, right? I just don't see how this works. I don't think horseman saves you in this game. Teensy tiny army. Big boy army. Get ready for the fight. If he can't win this fight, he might just call it. He's lost too much map control as it is. Walls are going to break. If only Azutsu had more reliable AoE damage. Lines start to spread. Crossbows. Starting to shred through it. The Samurai have to break through onto the Siege, but that means they're ignoring the crossbows entirely. This is the problem. Can he break it? Mango's just baiting him in even deeper. He's just getting no DPS output out of those Samurai. And the Mango hit to the back. Azutsu, all 20 down to half HP. Can he do it? Military lead right now is with Killjardy. Can he maintain it though? Orange still remaining at 68 economy. Mango's starting to break through. Horsemen now arrive. Crossbow count down to 27. What is going on? Orange has got 10,000 food, 2.5k gold, and is producing nothing. What is this macro? There's no way. I mean, Killjardy should be dead. Let's be totally real about this. The production levels just weren't there. If Orange was pumping troops throughout that fight, it's a complete stomp. Instead, Killjardy somehow doesn't lose the fight. I'm not going to call that a win, right? He's not in the base. He's not doing a victory lap of the map. But he didn't outright die like he should have there. Killjardy now queuing up hand cannoneers. You know what? I still stand by my statement that Lombos just come out and they kill you in high-level games, but if we're being totally real here, Orange didn't consistently produce units in that fight. He got so distracted, I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't knee-jerk pivot quick enough into Lombos. In fact, right now, he's prepping Spearman. Possible Samurai. Moving in. Mass Spring. What the Okay, so Azutsu weren't good enough at killing crossbows, I guess. Meet the new, better crossbow. This Samurai line is barely holding on. There's just so many men-at-arms coming in. Azutsu trying to snipe out the crossbows. But I simply don't think they're quick enough here. Men-at-arms are starting to break through. Siege is going to crumble. And with that, I think Killjardy's hopes of winning this game. He just can't keep it up. GG is cool. Killjardy says, no more of this. No 2-hour game. I can't keep Anatan waiting any longer. What an insane game. After the way this should have ended at 15 minutes, the English get their justified win 56 minutes in instead.